viewers, why some mother-in-law hates their daughter-in-law, part 2. My name is Mrs. Uchenam. In our previous video, or the last video on why some mother-in-laws hate their daughter-in-law, part 1, we discussed and we looked at some of those things that makes mother-in-law to hate their daughter-in-law. And please, if you have not watched that video, please go back and watch them, revisit that particular video. Now, in this video, we'll be bringing the complete reasons or the root causes why some mother-in-laws do hate their daughter-in-law for no just cause. Now, I remember I told you in the last video that when you know all these things as a daughter-in-law or as a wife, it helps you to maneuver the issues that may arise in your marriage, because ignorance is a disease, and when you have the full knowledge of what is going on in the hearts of your mom or mother-in-law, it helps you to maneuver the issues that may arise at the course of your journey in marriage. Now, one of those root causes, or one of those things that we've discussed before in our previous video, and we're about to talk about it, we're about to complete and exhaust the whole reasons. Part of them, in the number 5, is cultural differences. Yes, I have a friend who finally got married to a guy. The guy is from Osaka, and then before this guy got married to this lady, the mother-in-law or the mother of the boy refused the lady to get married to this young lady because the lady was not from the same village of his son, and so he insisted that his son will marry from the same community where they come from. And so it becomes a problem. In fact, before the mother-in-law gave approval for that marriage, it took years. It took about 3 years before the woman gave her approval for the son to get married to the lady. Because the lady is not from Nsukka, Enugu State. The lady was from the Anambra area. And so the mother-in-law refused it. Because she feel that I was asking her, why is it that your mother-in-law decided not to accept you in the earlier stage? And she said that because she doesn't know how Anambra women behaves, that the culture of the Nsukka people is different from that of Anambra, and so on and so forth. She had so many reasons for not accepting the lady, but finally she accepted her. So what am I trying to say? Family dynamics, differences in culture, differences in community can be a factor. When the mother has this ideology that her own community is the best, that in fact it is better to marry from the same community for peace to reign, and when she has that ideology, it becomes very difficult for her to approve any other woman outside of this cultural, outside of their own community. And so when a woman, a mother-in-law, probably she have approved the lady to marry her son. Yes, the son might decide to marry the lady, but one thing that is sure is that some mothers don't take it. Silently, they did not approve her. They will decide not to approve that person, and from there, problem begins to start, and issues will rise because she disapproved the culture of the lady from the beginning. And so the 6th one is insecurity and personal issues. Yes, insecurity is part of it, whereby the mother-in-law who is unhappy in her own life might project her frustration onto her daughter-in-law. It is not about wife or daughter-in-law, but it's about unresolved issues. Yes, most times the daughter-in-law may not even know what is the problem of the mother-in-law, but somehow the mother-in-law is just angry. It's not that the daughter-in-law has a problem with her mother-in-law, but think that the woman has a problem with herself, probably from her husband's family or from her family altogether. it affected the daughter-in-law's marriage and it becomes a problem. So personal issues and insecurity can be a factor that makes mother-in-law to be toxic or even cause issues in the life of their daughter-in-law. The last but not the least is testing loyalty or worthiness. Yes, in this part, the mother-in-law tried to test the loyalty of the daughter-in-law if indeed she's actually worthy enough to be his wife, his daughter-in-law. Yes, the daughter-in-law is being tested. Her patience is being tested. Her fashion, even her toxic ways is being tested, because in every woman being that exists in this life, we have our own nature, the way we act. So, at the course of marriage, when the daughter-in-law is being married into that family, some mother-in-laws will decide to pull the daughter-in-law's legs to know if she will fall victim to her trap. And so, sometimes she will be throwing some offensive words. Sometimes she will throw some negative character that if you don't control yourself as a daughter-in-law, you will get it wrong with her. And so, you won't understand that she actually wants to test your patience. If really you accepted this marriage you came in, if really you can bear with her, if really you can accept all the rubbish things you may feel you're seeing in the family. So at times, mother-in-laws tend to test their daughter-in-law, trying to test their worthiness, and so on and so forth. So, if this video is bringing value to you, bringing impact to you, please share this video. And one thing I would like you to do is to keep subscribing to my channel, YouTube channel, and also follow my Facebook page, comment and share for other people to comment, or rather other people to benefit from this video. Thank you for watching.